Hey guys, so for this video, I'll be doing an unboxing for Twice's Summer Nights, the repackage or the second special album of What Is Love. So I forgot which version this is. There's like a night version. I guess this is the day version. I don't know. But I mainly got this because I got it for a really good price. Because I was not going to buy it for the original price that it's for. I am not a Twice photo card collector. But I did buy What Is Love. So I did fall into this stupid hole of what JYP does with releasing everything repackaged for Twice. So my rule, if I want to buy a Twice album, I'm going to wait at least 4 to 5 months because I don't want to be paying for the same album twice, which is funny. Okay. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Twice releases their albums twice. I enjoyed this title track. At first I didn't like it that much. I felt like it was overly produced in some weird way. And I know Huisung, who I completely adore, wrote the song, and it doesn't sound like a Huisung song in my opinion. But he did write like Magic Girl from Orange Caramel and what's the other song that they wrote? The second mini album title track that Orange Caramel released. So anyways, if you want to check the song out, the songwriter for that one is Orange Caramel's first two singles. They had the same producer. So I didn't think I was gonna get this. I wanted to get it because of the title track. Found it at a good price, so that's the main reason why I got this. And again, that will be my rule for Twice releases. I am not going to buy anything when it's first released. I'm going to wait at least 4 to 5 months because again, I don't have that type of money, and I am not a once. So yeah. So here's the front and the back. I'm sure there's many unboxings of this, but I wanted to review it. And here's the spine. So I do like the vibes of this album. I think What Is Love is an improvement from Twice, and the Dance the Night Away. And I think it's a hit or miss for some people. It was a good. It got better for me. But this is how big the album is. This is how big the album is. If you're curious how big it is, so compared to a jewel case. So that's about how big it is. It is very thin. Not the best packaging. So it does come with a lot of stuff. This I don't think I have the photo cards, but the things that I came with for mine. This, which, and this mini poster. I am a firm, believer that I think these stuff is just too much in my opinion. I am not gonna, but then again, some fans like this stuff, so I'm not a huge fan of making all these things, but I guess this is cute. But yeah. And then there's a bunch of photo cards for this. You get this for certain pages. And yeah. Now let's get started. You get a track list and you get a total of 9 songs. So it is basically almost a full-length album. So yeah. And I'll talk about the tracks at the very end. Obviously, this brings me back to the party days from Girls' Generation. But I think it's so... This is a little strange seeing them try to be a bit sexy. I don't know. At least for me it is. I guess, did they draw this? Some of them pull it off better than the others. So because they are still very young. I think Momo definitely pulled it off. Momo pulls it off. I just think they fit the cute concept the best, so I'm not expecting, well, for them to go. I don't think it fits them to go an extreme. Maybe be more dark, like the bulldozer, the BDZ song, the bulldozer song. I think that was like that's a good concept for them, and I think they drew those. I think Sana, even though she's cute, I think she pulls off kind of like that sexy, a little bit sexy, I guess. So does Mina. I think she does it. It's okay. And Jiho, who I think is probably the one that's standing out, at least for me, the most, especially in like the music videos. I don't know. I feel like she has like a glow. So pretty. I think she's one of the prettiest K-pop girls right now. And I think this is kind of like the concept for the other photo book, the credits and the staff stuff. And I got Jihyo as my CD plate. So, obviously, Twice fans buy multiple copies because there's multiple versions and there's like hundreds of photo cards and all of this stuff. And if that's your thing, like, do you like? But that's not mine. I just think it's so expensive to keep up with all of that, and I buy the albums because of the music, not just like. Yes, I love the photo books and all, but when it now going to the extent of like collecting a bunch of photo cards, that's not my thing. If you're familiar with my channel, I'm sure you know that. So one thing I would say, and I know sometimes I can be very critical when it comes to Twice. In my opinion, they're going back up musically, like album wise. I think they've been getting better with their albums, especially their what's it called? Their last release, Yes or Yes, that mini album was very solid. I think that's a good contender with the TT mini album as like their best body of work, like from beginning to end. They haven't topped TT and Cheer Up, but we'll see. We'll see. I just got the I'm just really glad that they've been improving with the B-sides because that was like my biggest complaint. But I feel they're falling a little bit short on the title tracks. They're still on kind of like on that. I don't know. This is how I feel. I feel like the title tracks are very similar, but like it's just kind of like very, they're not necessarily like overcoming like the other song, or kind of make it, I don't know how, because their songs are good, their title tracks are good for the most part, but I feel like they don't have that oomph that would like really takes it to another level. Because like there's groups that consistently have that's like similar sound, and that's completely fine. Perfect example of that is like GFriend, who has kind of like that. The title tracks are very very similar, but they all have like their own type of personality, and I feel like Twice songs seem to be a little bit too recycled. But I do like that the albums are getting better. So I don't know how the new title track is gonna sound like for the repack. I liked Yes or Yes. I was pleasantly, I was, um, I was pretty happy with the title tracks this year, but I don't feel like they're taking that next step. And one thing I would say, I really like that Bulldozer song. That's like, I don't know why. I think I'm liking them more for some reason. But there's just not. But in my opinion, like, just as a listener for that has listened to K-pop for a really long time, and I've been keeping up with Twice since they debuted. I don't see any growth as for them as a group. Certain members, I think definitely Gio, is keeping them kind of intact. I just wish the other girls would kind of go a little bit more out of their way to improve. And it's difficult to do that when you like constantly release so many songs. You're not gonna have a very solid body of work, because when you look at all these other groups, even though they're making all these comebacks, I think they've been able to make like an essence with every comeback. And for them, and like, it's just like, yes, it hits number one, it does well, it gets all these views, but it doesn't go any, there's no evolution to them. Like, for example, like for a great example, like GFriend, who has that same sound of like, not the same sound as Twice, but has their own sound. The title tracks sound pretty similar, just like Twice, and this is the case for groups like Lovelyz, who has that specific sound. But overall, you see them maturing. Like, I feel like you don't have to take that whole 360, or you take that whole 360 after like being 7 years in the game, like A-Pink, who are now older, who need to do something that's more of their age, and not go like at an extreme. Yeah, like that works. But I haven't seen anything from that from Twice. Like, musically, they haven't been pushing, kind of doing anything that I don't see any kind of improvement. It's been just like a straight line. I wish they were able to kind of evolve a little more, but it's not the girls' fault. It's just JYP. Like, and I'm not trying to criticize them. That they're not talented enough and they're not this and that, because they put out solid songs. In my opinion, at the top 20 for my end of the year, I probably would have one of the Twice songs that is released every year, at least one, for sure, because they're very catchy, and I think they keep, and that's one thing I really like about Twice songs. They feel like K-pop songs. They give you that K-pop feel. I've been a K-pop fan for a long time, and they have that essence to their songs. But I wish they would just evolve a little bit more. That's the thing I want them the most from them. But with them having so many comebacks, they're not gonna have that golden song that's going to, like, it's like, I don't know, obviously it's really difficult to top like their first like 3 songs, because they were like just huge songs. Because these were still hits, but they're not bigger than TT. They're not bigger than TT. They're not bigger than Cheer Up. They don't have that impact. And I think we can all agree on that. They don't have that impact. And I wish they took a bit of a break. They find a bunch of producers. They have a bunch of songs. And then make like an evolution as a group. Because I know JYP can make really, really good albums. Look at the Wonder Girls. Look at their studio albums. Listen to their mini albums. and especially their studio albums. There are no skips in those albums. So JYP can definitely pick the right songs for them. He always did a good job with Miss A as well, for the most part, when it came to like picking the right songs. I don't know why they can't just take a little bit of time, pick the best batch of songs, and make an album that would, you can say, this album is like Twice is, strongest release, and like it's gonna be in a people's list, like, oh, that's a really good album. I really want that from them, and I definitely think they can do it. It's just like they need enough time to find the right songs, because obviously they probably have like a bank of songs. Like they just pull out, we're making a comeback, we recorded all these songs, let's put this. I feel like that's what they've been doing for the past 2.5 years. And it's becoming really noticeable. Obviously the songs have been getting better, so that's good, but it's not like I can say, dang, 3 of these songs can be title tracks. And you can look back at all these other groups like Mamamoo, Blackpink, GFriend, who else? Who else is kind of like, yeah, like, well, those 3, because they're like that kind of like the leading girl groups right now with Twice. They have at least 2 or 3 songs that can be title tracks that were B-sides, and I haven't seen that from Twice. And they have extremely solid mini albums and full-length albums. So I really hope that things start changing for Twice in terms of the treatment that they're getting. I know some people say, oh, they're happy to make all these comebacks and all that, but honestly, if you really want to make a mark, I really hope that they have that album that you can say, that's Twice's album. And every group has that album. Like, when you look back at all these legendary groups, I guess, and this is going off a tangent, like Girls' Generation, like their Japanese studio album, like their 3 studio albums. That's the first thing whenever you think, what are some quality from start to finish that I would say a good majority of people would enjoy those albums. Or Kara, I think you can definitely say their second studio album was from beginning to end Brown Eyed Girls. Most of their studio albums, especially Sound G, which had Abracadabra, 6th Sense, Wonder Girls, Reboot, Wonder World, like they have these solid albums. Even Miss A, the first studio album, A Class. So all these iconic groups had at least an album that was untouchable. Like, it's untouchable, and I really want I want that from Twice at least one time. I'm sure a good amount of people would agree with that, but then again, you have these fans who can't say anything that is not amazing. Like, I'm very critical of them because they are a top group, so they have the potential, they have the fans to back it up. So it's not like if they take a bit of a break, they're gonna flop. And they have JYP behind them, so they definitely can do it. So I guess this is a really long video. I didn't expect it to be this long, but that's kind of my overall thoughts on Twice right now. I've enjoyed their material a little bit more because the albums are progressively getting better. And I feel like it's just because JYP was just picking whatever songs were there. At least he's picking from the better bunch. But if they took a bit of time to get all these writers and producers, have all these people submit songs, and then they make like a full-length album that's just extremely iconic, and they have like 2 music videos. I can just visualize it. Yeah, that's just me ranting. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously there's so many unboxings for this, so I would just say the packaging is pretty average. It's not the worst, but not the best. It's gearing more towards bad. For the packaging, the album is pretty okay. But this can like pretty much get ruined if you don't take care of it. Alright guys, bye.